Hello, people. I wanted to respond to some negative comments that I got, and really interesting comments how people see what I'm doing maybe differently. So, Ezegamba Peter said, "Guy, go and find another content. This one no work, I beg. I was in the seminary and it sharpened my earlier days. I left the seminary because I knew it was not for me. Do not come here and open your loud mouth to discredit the information." My mouth is not loud now, brother. You look for something else. However, I was in the seminary for 14 years. That's a big achievement. Yeah. So this is something I know, and I'm not saying I know it more than anybody. I am doing theology in a way that begins from life experience, and that's what my page is all about. There's so much about healing from an emotional perspective, from a psychological perspective, and with my training as a hospital chaplain, I know that so much about healing has to do with affirmation, expression, time. For instance, what I'm doing, as I see that a lot of people appreciate, and thanks to all of those who understand what I'm doing, who appreciate what I'm doing, I see you, I see your comments. I've not been able to respond to all of that. The reason why I'm picking some of these negative comments is because sometimes they help bring up more clarification, they help put things in perspective. So I appreciate you, Ezegamba Peter. I just want you to know this is not just content for content's sake. This is a forum, this is a page, this is an initiative that intends to bring healing to a lot of people who have never had closure. So leaving the seminary sometimes is like a breakup. It's like a breakup. Like you get into this thing, you have an agreement in your mind, a psychological expectation from yourself and from people and from society, and you just shatter at some point. It is like a breakup. We need closure. I mean, not really for me. I've had so much professional and otherwise help. A lot of people have come to my page to just describe what their experience was like. Do you know if they've ever had that chance to describe it? Nkem Uroko said, "You are not called, so don't discourage others." I really don't know how you know that I am not called, honestly, because you don't know my story, you don't know how I left the seminary, you do not have a clue. So the fact that I'm not in the seminary now or a priest doesn't mean that I'm not called. You know? So you do not know anything about me. And just to give you a little insight, I left the seminary because I felt the spirituality and the pedagogy of the seminary in which I was, Schoenstatt Fathers, best seminary in Nigeria. I would say that anywhere, without meaning that any other seminary is less, but I had a formation that has changed my life. It is one seminary where you are allowed to use your phones. You really don't need like permissions to go out. You just need to inform a classmate or inform one of the prefects. We don't have prefects. We just call them like coordinators. You communicate with your formators. You have meetings on how to do rosary procession. You have meetings. Everybody has a voice. You have that freedom. You have that authority. You have that agency as a formandee in a seminary. You eat with your rector. Your rector washes plates with you. What kind of formation is better than that? So I have a well-grounded formation that is free and firm and priestly. So even if I plait my hair, people still think I'm a priest or think there's something priestly about me. That's because of the kind of formation I have. So Schoenstatt is wonderful. Schoenstatt Fathers, great, excellent, superb community, a wonderful congregation. I just do not think that my own personality and my own mannerism will align with everything about the spirituality and pedagogy. Only those who have gone to seminary or are in seminary or are in a diocese would most likely understand this. I'm not saying every other person won't. I'm just explaining why I resigned from the seminary. I really don't owe you that. But for you to think that I am not called, are you one of those calling people? How do you know that? Because I told you I resigned from the seminary? Okay, let's go to the next one. Tina Eziashi said, you discovered you were not called, so allow others to discover for themselves. Don't use this medium to discourage others. If they discover what they want and they need your professional advice, they will definitely find you. First of all, I am not a professional counselor. I am not an immigration person. I have no training in immigration. I have no professional training in helping people to decide what they do. What I am doing is to let them first of all know that they have an option. There are different options, that they must not go through this route. But I will not help anyone decide, and I will not even incentivize that decision, like promising that once you decide to come out, I'll do this, I'll do that for you. I don't give any incentive for that. What I am saying is options are available. Choose to be well informed in your decision. That is what I'm doing. And you come to a well informed and happy choice. You don't have to go through one route only because you don't know that there are other options. So I'm not professional in this. This is somebody sharing what his life experience has been and seeing how that can bring healing, closure, and peace to a lot of other people who have had even worse experiences. Toyin Olubusto Okeowo, what a negative and dishonorable forum you have here. Sensitizing adult priests in the training to leave their seminaries, creating a soft landing for such soft-hearted young men, promising a more fulfilled life outside priesthood. Yes, all of us cannot be priests. No one should be forced into seminary. The church does not force anyone into the priesthood. It is not an easy vocation, but we can only pray for them and encourage the few who have chosen that divine path. If we can't encourage and pray for them, we must not discourage, incite, or lure them out of their vocation. Your message may ordinarily seem popular now among shallow-minded and lazy fellows because of the easy road you are presenting, but I personally think it is serpentine, nefarious, and iniquitous to come out here and spew this sweet rubbish. Baba, Toyin, this one pay me. When I read this, he paid me. I said, wait, see, what did I do? What did I do? Like, what did I do? But that's what I have become. That's who I have become because I've put myself out here to do this kind of thing, to do this kind of initiative. I'm expecting this kind of bullets, but every time it's going to be raw, it's going to be painful, and one has to get used to it. So thank you for training me in that. First of all, man, a lot of claims you make here that are not what I'm doing. I'm not luring anybody out of the seminary. I'm not promising any better life out of the seminary. I am talking about options. And I am promising people that they are not sinners, criminals, or misfits when they leave the seminary. I think that is fair enough. I have in no manner, shape, or form promised anybody a better life. Actually, so many people out here in America, in different other countries, are not having a better life. So many people are miserable even outside Nigeria. So that I talk about coming out of the country as a way to see other options and still decide. So if you listen to my video, you will find that I said that once you come out and you still decide, you can still be a priest. There is so much about economy. There is so much about poverty. There is so much about hardship in Nigeria that influences vocations. You may know that, you may not know. So that people who do not have other options could choose some of these options as the way out. But I'm saying, if you see other options, you can make a better choice. You can choose to be happy. All the seminarians that have reached out to me, I told them, I don't want to be part of your decision. Discernment is sacred. I don't want to be part of that. I would allow you to choose, and when you are done with your choice, if you need any insight on how to move on, fine. Thank you to Lillian Chime Onyeyiri. you responded to Toyin saying that he who wears the shoes knows where it pinches. Why didn't you become a priest yourself? Always allow people know all their options. That is my point. For people to know their options, for people to not think that they are constrained to make a particular choice, and for people to also embrace healing, especially those who are already outside, to embrace healing, to express these things, to take pride in being an ex-seminarian. You know, being a seminarian is a hard job. It is a noble job. It is a noble task. It is a calling in itself. When you become a seminarian for one day, follow the rules and regulations of the seminary for one day, man, I think you deserve to be proud that you lived that life, even if it was for one day.